Today we're going to be playing an Esper Super Friends list. Now today's list was inspired by one of our viewers out there, Nathan, who left a comment on the channel asking if I could play Broker's Ascendancy in a Super Friends list, but not the typical way. They wanted to see if I could squeeze in some black planeswalkers into the deck. So I thought to myself, challenge accepted. That sounds extremely fun and busted, and this is what we came up with today. So you're probably wondering how we get the Broker's Ascendancy into play when it has green. Well, there's two ways we accomplish that. We obviously have Elspeth, which can then -3, and hopefully we hit that Broker's Ascendancy. But there's a more surefire way with Kato, where we can draw a card, discard the Broker's Ascendancy from our hand to the graveyard, and reanimate it with Obscura Charm. Obscura Charm has a multitude of purposes, but one of those things is to bring back a multicolored spell from the graveyard to the battlefield. So it essentially will be our Broker's Ascendancy, the Obscura Charm, that is. The rest of the deck is some really versatile spells, as well as some great planeswalkers to go along with the deck. It's a really fun deck, and the Broker's Ascendancy takes it to the next level and creates some amazing shenanigans. So I'm hoping you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys want the full deck breakdown, stick around to the end of the video for that. In the meantime, there's a link to the deck list down below in the description. And if you guys enjoy content just like this, don't forget to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. Both of those go a very long way, and they're free ways to help support and grow the channel. With that being said, guys, enjoy the games. Peace. Be sure to check out the new Swayze shop that just went live. Get yourself a really cool community-inspired t-shirt, all while helping support the channel. Links to the shop will be down below in the description. And with that being said, enjoy the games. Peace. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing an Esper deck that I think is going to be a lot of fun for us today, because it's going to be an Esper build with a splash of green with Broker's Ascendancy in it. Pretty cool idea from somebody in the community that gave us that idea, and I wanted to give it a shot today and see if it was possible. It was pretty tricky to come up with a game plan on how we can get that on the battlefield and still make the mana work decently okay. And I decided we're not even going to put any green mana in the deck, period. We're just going to focus on getting it maybe to the graveyard and reanimating it with the charm, or we can even go with the Elspeth and, you know, pull it out that way. So there's a couple of things we can do here, but ultimately I think we're going to have a pretty fun build for you guys today. I'm going to pass on killing that. It is what it is. I have a Vanishing Verse for it later if I want to, and that way it won't deal any damage on the death. But they're probably going to play something. Okay, so they are going to start attaching things to it. Interesting. So Vanishing Verse is going to be a good tool here against that. But we do find a Kato, and oh, man. Do we just take one more turn? I'm going to take one more turn off here. We're going to draw a card and discard a card. Now the Obscura Charm can bring this back onto the battlefield, and you know, we'll have a Broker's Ascendancy, which is so busted. That little combo right here is really good. I don't like that we're taking an additional 3 damage here, potentially more if they pump it up even further. But again, we have Vanishing Verse, which does, you know, eat any sort of extra damage they may deal to us. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plus and just discard a card here because I need to hit a land drop. We get a land, and we just pass the turn. We have all this instant speed magic as far as Obscura and Vanishing Verse. It's going to be one of those two. I have to imagine that it's going to be the Vanishing Verse, but if they do just attack the Kato here for 3 loyalty, I'll let that slide, and then I'll just go for the Obscura Charm. That's fine. Let's see how they attack here. I hope they do go for Kato. That's awesome. All right, that gives me an extra turn off here to just kind of Obscura Charm and relax, and I might even be able to get the Doomscar off instead. Broker's Ascendancy is now in play, though. Ooh. All right, give you the land. No land. Interesting. Well, everything here is really good, but I've got so much removal. I mean, the choice is ours. The world is our oyster here, and the Broker's Ascendancy is going now, which is going to pump up the Kato even further. Wandering Emperor comes in. We exile the 4/2 Fireblade Charger. We take 3 damage probably. Or there's a good chance that they, you know, put that 3 damage to Kato, which in that case, I might just exile that instead and then Vanishing Verse this after. Tough decision. No, they do put the Fireblade on there. Interesting. That is not how I expected them to attack. Didn't make the most sense, but I'll take it. It helps us out the most. All right, Fireblade Charger gone. We get to keep Kato. We now have a Wandering Emperor and a Broker's Ascendancy. Things are looking good. Very good. And we have nothing but removal in hand too, which is so nice. Whenever the Samurai Warrior control attacks alone, it gains lifelink till the end of turn. Well, can't have that, can we? We still didn't hit a land drop though. What? I have to create a 1/1 here, I think. And I'm gonna plus it. That way we have a target for this Wandering Emperor. That's pretty annoying though that we didn't hit a land drop here, but we do have the Vanishing Verse, so I'll just foretell this. Not like I think we're even gonna need it at this point because we're getting a little bit farther ahead of our opponent now, especially with the Ascendancy now going off and all of our loyalty being pumped up and, you know, our creatures getting bigger. Very helpful. This does give indestructibility, which is something we need to consider as well. So maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. All right, that would have to be a white source. Do we care? No, it's fine. All right, I was thinking about casting this now before I go grab a land, but if it's a white source that we need to make this happen, I'm okay with getting a white source, so fine. It works out fine. All right. Feeling pretty good right now. I feel like the deck is performing at the moment, which is awesome. Oh, that's annoying. That's annoying. But it doesn't go to exile, so you know what I mean? Also, if I get a land, I mean, I can play out the Elspeth and potentially get another one, which is great. Vanishing Verse, not going to be super helpful. I mean, it can get this, obviously, but they're just going to sack it in response to give indestructibility to this. So we are going to lose our 3/3, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and do this first. Maybe they'll forget to sack it. But there's no way. I mean, it's the response for any situation. So, all right. So we are gonna block to protect our Wandering Emperor, and hopefully they play another creature here. Okay, they don't. Where in the world are the lands? That's what I want to know. That is what I want to know. Can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. All right, we exile you. We obscure charm back our Broker's Ascendancy. And both our planeswalkers gain loyalty here. And we just hope that they don't have any hasty things here. I would imagine that the Foretold card there is going to be Starnheim Unleashed, just because why would they play a Doomscar in this particular deck? Dude, if I don't hit a land here in the next turn or two, I'm going to lose it. What do you do, man? What do you even do, man?
Wow, dude.
Where's the land, bro? Where's the land? You know what, though? Wedding Announcement comes down. We get the 1/1, and it gets a pump from the Broker's Ascendancy. So all's well. Just, we could be dominating, and instead of dominating, we're just winning very easily. I prefer to be dominating. Well, now we don't have any blue mana. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, we're doing the thing, though. We're doing the thing. Kato has done nothing to find us any lands. Just crazy. Here come the Angels, though. Doomscar probably going to be getting some play on this next turn because we can't do anything about the Angels. Okay, or not. Or not. There's a blue source, but it's a slow land. Let me go ahead and plus this first to see if we can hit a faster land. We do. Elspeth, let's go. Let's give this some lifelink. Just to really put the nail in the coffin here.
Keep watch for intruders.
Just to put the nail in the coffin, baby. Let's go. We finally hit a 5th land drop. Took forever. Gaining 4 life here is huge. We go back to 19. We get another creature. We get the Broker's Ascendancy going off. There's nothing they can do here, man. There's nothing. We've established the perfect dominant board here. Just absolutely pure bliss right now that we're in. This is perfect. The mana has been an issue in this game though, thanks to the shuffler, man. Just doing its normal shuffler stuff. That's fine. We have a lifelink 5/5. Good chance it gets killed with some sort of burn spell here though, obviously, unless they really... Okay, they're gonna Doomscar the board. Why give me the 5 life game before you do that though, you know? So they are running Doomscar though. How odd. How odd is that? I think we're just gonna do this. Keep the loyalty high.
Win it.
There's really no reason for us to do anything other than plus the Kato here, because I mean, there's no reason to alt it. If we alt it, I don't have any blue or black creatures, so it's all good. We have Obscura Charm, by the way, can counter, you know, silly things like a Doomscar, and then we also have Vanishing Verse for the Lion Sash, so feeling pretty solid about that. And next turn we get a bunch of angels, which is so ridiculous, especially when you have a Broker's Ascendancy out here. It's nearly impossible to deal with. And once we alt this and we have the Obscura Charm to counter any sort of Doomscar, it should be wrapped up. This has been a fun game though. It's been fun to kind of just do our thing and showcase how silly this deck can be. All right, that's fine. They think they're gonna attach the sash here, but unfortunately for them, they are not. We'll be seeing ya. Maybe? I mean, what's the hold up here? Just to exile a card, right? That's fine. It goes to exile. Nothing they can do about that. They're left with just a 3/3 here. And it's our turn. And we are going to go ahead and alt the Elspeth. You know what that means. GG's.
Nathan, call 911.
Because somebody just committed a crime. Oh, I'm having way too much fun with the new soundboard stuff. All right, we're going to go ahead and attack in here and draw a card. If you haven't noticed, I added a few perks to the soundboard. Pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. Gain 5 more life plus the Kato, drawing a card. Everything gets pumped again by the Broker's Ascendancy. Let's just go ahead and foretell this just because. And say go. And you got to imagine that's a wrap. I mean, unless of course they try to have a, you know, another Doomscar play here, but they don't know about the yeah, they don't know about this bad boy right here. They don't know about this. They don't know about Bruno. No. All right, we're being bullies now. Come on. What a very flexible and powerful card the Obscura Charm can be, man. What a card. GG's, man. That was a really fun game. Well, I probably should have reset the game there because of audio issues, and I forgot. So we're just jumping right into the next one, man. We're going for it. I'm a little jazzed up on that last game. Little jazzed. Opponent is going first, and I have a pretty solid hand. I like the wedding announcement into Kato here. That feels pretty solid. Another Boros deck? Okay, no, it's Jeskai. Jeskai with a Bank Buster. With a Bank Buster. I like the Bank Buster. Very cool card. Iteration, also a cool card. They're not very cool when you're playing against them though. Yeah, definitely going for the wedding announcement here. I think getting the card draw going fast and furious is the plays here. Because we attack him with the 1/1, Kato draws us a card. And then we just get another 1/1, and then we hopefully start drawing cards with the wedding announcement as well. Need some cards here. This opponent's clearly going to be drawing a lot of cards. Okay, that's interesting. Almost wish I would have foretold the Doomscar, but because that's a problem. And it looks like it's going to be able to just untap here, which is super unfortunate. That's not good. Anytime you can let Hinata untap for a turn, it is not good. And we drew the answer. Wow. Just a little late on the answer there. We do get to still hit it next turn, but I'm going to get Magma Opus this turn, which is the problem. Or not. I mean, we do have Doomscar now available, but there's a good chance they have Fading Hope to save one of these two creatures. We'll see. Good news is we get to attack in with both of these just to kind of test the waters, see what's going on. We are going to blow up the board, though. Hopefully they use up that 2 treasure here to make some kind of a play to make me feel a little better about our chances of this resolving.
I know something you don't know.
This is what we got to do, guys. This is what we got to do because they're running Hinata and they're running Goldspan and they've got treasure open. So very, very, very strong possibility this gets countered. Got to try, though. Got to try. If I could have just foretold that on turn 2 instead of going for the other plays, we would have been fine. But we were up against Izzet, so I couldn't have guessed that our opponent here was going to, you know, be this aggro. Obviously, I could have guessed the Hinata if I would have really thought about it deeply, but most people that are running Izzet are usually running the bombardment stuff. So I don't know. I guess I should have anticipated a little bit more of the options, but it's fine. It happens, but we tried our best. I knew there was going to be a counter. Anytime you see a Hinata come down, the hand is probably full of spell pierces, negates, all the nonsense. So it is what it is. GG's and on to the next one. Yeah, if you really think about it too, I mean, the Hinata coming down, even if the Doomscar was ready and I blasted the Hinata away on turn 4, they still follow that up with that Goldspan Dragon, which also becomes an issue because then we try to play the Wandering Emperor to take care of it, and then from there they negate the Wandering Emperor. So we would have been in just as bad of trouble there. It just going second, just not, everything kind of fell apart, you know. Didn't really have a fair shake at that last one. Love that we hit a land here, though. Thank goodness for that. I may just play it for a white source here. That way I can ensure the Wandering Emperor makes an appearance if we need it. Yeah, I'm going to go Wedding Announcement here, but I am going to go for the white source over the blue. It may haunt me in the future, but I do like the double white just in case, let's say we, you know, top deck white and black sources repeatedly. I do want to make sure that we can get these out. All right, Fable the Mirror Breaker. I probably am going to use the Bloodchief's Thirst on that token. Not bad. Not what I wanted to see, but not bad. Yeah. I would, gosh, it's such a hard decision because I would like to get the Wedding Announcement down and then we could threaten to triple block, but I don't think they're going to respect that. I think they're just going to send a 2/2 anyways, and clearly the treasures are something they need and they're very important, so we're going to do it like so. I don't like it, but I have to deal with it for now. It's Jund, by the way. I don't know if it's going to be Reanimator or not. Fable the Mirror Breaker usually indicates a good Reanimator type situation, but all right, that's interesting. So this gets 1/1 every time something dies, right? And at the beginning of the upkeep, they can basically sweep the board. I was gonna say, why would they throw that away though? Clearly because they have another one. All right, I like the land here. That's nice. I am going to just hold the line though, flip over the Wedding Announcement to the festivity sides of things, get 3 2/2s, and then our opponent's probably going to look to try to remove some of my stuff here with some sort of instant speed removal. I have a Wandering Emperor though for the Realm Eater, but if they have something right now, this moment, that could be problematic. Yeah, they do, which means they're going to sweep up the entire board here from our side, which is super annoying. Yeah, super annoying because they other than the mana value. Yeah, it's all about mana value here. So opponent's going to be able to sweep the entire board by taking off that 1/1 counter. Super lame. Which is why I was holding the Wandering Emperor over the Elspeth there, so I can try to make a play at killing the Realm Eater. The Realm Eater is a problem for sure, because we run a lot of token stuff, so they only need the one, you know, the 1+1, and it's a wrap. So Wandering Emperor though takes care of the Realm Eater. Opponent will be left with 3 cards only, which feels good. And then we can get down a couple of different things here, but we'll focus on exiling this for now. There's a lot of options on this next turn. I can go Sorin, look to give a +1/1 counter. They Deadly Dispute. Yikes, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. We don't gain the life. Not that it was super important or anything this turn, but could have been. I may want to go Elspeth and minus. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do yet. A Doomscar off the top would be phenomenal, but just to kind of clean things up a bit. It's not a bad card. I really, really want to play Elspeth, but that's such a gamble. And let's just say we get a Wedding Announcement or a Broker's Ascendancy. There's no value to be had there until the end step. So I think Sorin is the move here, and putting the 1 counter on it. At least that way we're guaranteed a little bit of life gain if they want to attack into us. And then on top of that, they might have to spend mana and a card to get, you know, rid of the 4/5. If they do that, we're kind of screwed though, because then they have 2 free attacks on both of our planeswalkers here, which you hate to see. I may have to use this Vanishing Verse on the Reflection of Kiki Jiki. I would have really liked the land off the top there. Unless, did we get a land that last turn? I don't remember, but would have been nice to have one more land on that last play so I could have this Vanishing Verse available, but would have helped a lot. This is kind of good though that our opponent's taking this long to think. That means that they probably don't have a very easy clear-cut line, so we might be all right. But the fact that they're running, you know, Seralf is a huge indicator that they have a lot of removal, and if they do have another removal spell here, we're in a bit of trouble. That's good. I mean, that may not seem good, but that is actually not terrible, because we can Vanishing Verse the token that they generate. We go over the top, killing it, and all of our planeswalkers are intact for the end of this turn, so I love that. Well, actually, they can copy the 6/6 right here now. That's actually really bad. They don't do that though. Wow, they could have done that. All right, cool. Cool. They helped me out there a little bit. If we go here, we're not left with enough for this. Okay, so we go here, take away their ability, so they were doing it more defensively. Interesting choice, which is smart. I mean, at least they thought about it and didn't actually forget, so that's good on their part, not for us. We get the 1/1 counter here. Wedding Announcement, and do we create a 2/3? Is it worth creating another 2/3 here? Maybe. The more defensive I get, the better. Meat Hook Massacre for 3. They can Meat Hook for 4 right now, potentially 5 next turn. And if they did though, their whole side of the board would be clean up. I'm gonna go for the extra flyer here. Go for the extra flyer here. No attacks. We're gonna be drawing cards with the Wedding Announcement, so that should be really helpful. The more bodies, the better, just because I don't want them being able to get through to kill the Wandering Emperor. The Wandering Emperor being pretty valuable here, especially because we can -2 now. I don't know. It's tough to say. But Elspeth is going to come down next turn too, and also kind of pump these vampires full of juice and steroids. Yeah, I don't know. Drawing a card with Sorin there might have been the right move. It's hard to say. A Kato off the top would be absolutely busted right about now. Have we seen any Katos? No Katos. I didn't even know I had a challenge here. So they give up. Oh no, they don't give up. They're looking for lands. Okay, so they got one land off of that. They lost some good stuff there. I love that. All right, we're at a bit of a stalemate here, which I enjoy. This is actually kind of a nail biter here. This is going to be tough. Burn down a house for a bunch of 1/1s. Interesting. They don't go the burn route, which, I mean, makes sense. That I would have been left with a 5/6. They would have been left with nothing. And I have a wedding announcement. Yeah, that would have been a bad move. But I'd be interested to see how they proceed with this. They send the whole squad at the Wandering Emperor, which is interesting. All right, we'll do it like that, which does keep our Wandering Emperor alive. And well, they could send actually the 1 damage to the Wandering Emperor, which is what they're probably going to do, but I'll be left with the 2/2 then. All right, that's fine. That's fine. And then they lose the edge of the Innkeeper, so that's fine. Elspeth comes in. I think I'm going to minus Elspeth here. I think I'm going to get very greedy, and I'm going to look for an ascendancy here. Kato's not bad, actually. Kato's not bad at all. Here, and I'm gonna leave you back for blocks, and then we do get to draw a card with both the wedding announcement and Kato, so hopefully we find a vanishing verse off the top here and we can kill out the Kiki Jiki. No, but we get another Wandering Emperor. That's pretty huge. Also, Kato has a shield counter. Pretty sweet. We are gonna lose the Elspeth though. I was really hoping to hit a ascendancy here, but it's all good. Well, they do that for 6. I actually don't mind it at all. They're officially out of cards in hand. They have a Hive, which we got to keep an eye out for, but we're left with a Kato. We're left with 1 wedding announcement trigger and, you know, Wandering Emperor. So ultimately, not terrible. Not terrible. Let's go there. Drop this in. Say go. Let them attack in with the Hive, and then we'll kill the Hive with the Wandering Emperor. We gotta hope that their top deck isn't just absolutely busted and nuts. Nope, we're good. That's fine. Totally fine with that. Audio issues for days on the Arena client right now. Can't get through a single game without some sort of audio issues, which is a bummer. They swing through to try to kill the Kato, or at least get the shield counter off of it, but little did they know they walked right into another Emperor, which feels bad, man. I also had the seat, which I could have killed that with. Something to consider, but I'm gonna hang on to it. Gonna hang on to it. Wouldn't have been a bad play to go that route either. Probably would have been a better play. It's all good though. Gonna attack in here with the 3/3. Look to draw a card with Kato. The Innkeeper can't kill any of our planeswalkers here. Plus, like I said, I have the seat. Also, Kato could draw us a solution for that as well. They do. End our turn. Say go. And we're sitting pretty now. Every turn we're drawing cards. Oh, there's a Titan there. Yikes. Not bad. Not bad, my dude. And they go for the destruction of my enchantment, which is annoying because that was actually pumping the squad, which felt pretty good. I'm gonna let the Innkeeper get through here and not use this because I could use it for the 4/4 after they attack with that. So, oh wow, they're not even going to attack. Interesting. Also very interesting. Okay, I am going to play this first before I attack in here, because if they double block here, then I want to make sure Lolth gets a little additional loyalty. So let's attack in here, and they don't double block. I mean, we're at 33 life total, so I'm not too worried about the meat hook at all. That's huge. That is huge. We don't have anything in the yard, though. Could be used to kill this, though. Could be used to counter something big. We're feeling good. Again, we're just feeling really good right now. Yeah, we've gotten pretty much locked out of the game, so that concede was not surprising. That game was really, really nerve-wracking in the beginning, though. It was a bit of a tight race in the beginning, but we got going first, so GG. All right, we reset the game. Hopefully no more audio issues. Let's get going on this last game here. We definitely have time for at least one more, maybe two. We'll see. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. The camera's a little off. There we go. What do we got here? Opening hand is a good one. Not bad at all. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I like the early game interactions here. I say not perfect, and only because we don't know what our opponent's up to. And if they're not aggro, this hand might actually be pretty dead. We'll see. Hopefully, or not even aggro, but just like, you know, focused on creatures. Nice. That says at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. And then if there are 3 or more cards, creature cards in your graveyard, transform it. Okay. So that's not super scary. Let's just foretell this, I think. We did just draw the Broker's Ascendancy. That's kind of nice. Ooh, red. I thought we were going to see black there. Interesting. Okay. Bloodchief's Thirst has got that covered, I think. And I think I'm going to play the safe again. I don't think I want the blue right now. If I top that Kato, I'm going to be really upset. But yeah, I don't think I want that right now. I think we just do this, and then we hold the Vanishing Verse. Say go. We do it that way too, because if we draw any sort of land, whether it be white or black or blue, Sorin is able to be played. So that's got a Vanishing Verse's name on it. But I also want to just Doomscar. I don't know, tough to say. I mean, the Doomscar comes in later too. It doesn't matter either way. All right, that's gone. And we get an Obscura Charm, which we could have played if we went for blue there, but I mean, we had to try to play safe there with the color choices. That's annoying. Still not taking a ton of damage yet, but all right, that's fine. That gives us something. It gives us something to do, which is great. Of course, we're gonna get mana screwed here, huh? That's how the game wants to play this one. That's what Arena wants to do on this game, huh? This would have been a really fun game too had I gotten the lands. That thing can just kill my enchantments. I mean, we gotta find a white source out the top here. Have to. It is a have to happen kind of moment here. Nope. Nope, we're just hanging out, just waiting. Just waiting. And then we'll see if they want to sacrifice the Liberator here in order to stop me from creating a 1/1. Potentially, oh, Snakeskin Veil. I had a feeling it was going to be something like that, but that is annoying because now they're going to draw cards and refuel. That was our only chance of getting back in the game, is the fact that they had no cards in hand. Now they're going to just keep getting more cards in hand, and we're in trouble. Here we go. Let the nonsense start pouring on. Please, 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 please give me a land. Lame, dude. So lame. Mana Screw is the worst. We didn't even get to play Magic in that game. All right, we're gonna do one more because that was silly. Well, sometimes Arena is like that. You just don't get any lands, you don't get to play Magic, and it's just a big bust. But you know,
wow, dude, it
happens. It happens. Oh man, so unfortunate. I didn't want to go out like that on that last game. This opening hand is interesting. If we do find a black source, this could be nuts. If we don't, this could be bad. I'm gonna put my faith in the arena that it's not gonna do this twice in a row, and it doesn't. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. I should not ever put my faith in arena, but you know, you gotta do it sometimes. Sometimes you're not really given a choice. You get the Vanishing Verse off the top, going against something a mono black, which means that they are going to have things like Invoke Despair, which you hate to see. I think that's a fine Vanishing Verse. There are things like Lulth and other things we got to worry about, but I'm fine with this play just because that's tough. This is tough. Give me a tap blue source. Kato will find us more lands, right? I'm gonna go Wedding Announcement first. That way I can just straight draw cards with Kato and not have to discard, even though I do want to discard Broker's Ascendancy, but also you never know. We'll see. I think the Wedding Announcement's a fine play. But anyways, yeah, I think that was a good target for the Merchant, because I wouldn't have a great way to deal with that, and then over time they're just going to draw a bunch of cards with it, so that's pretty annoying. And we do lose both our enchantment and our creature. Fun times. Fun times. Another white source is fantastic. That opens the door for our Elspeth next turn, which can then either minus or give our unblockable creature some benefits, which I love to see. I hate this card, man. I mean, I don't hate it. I love the card. It's one of my favorites out there, but I hate when it hits me. It just takes care of so many things, and it's so lame. And against us, that card in particular is so good, because you know all of our things are enchantments, creatures, and planeswalkers. It's like the perfect trifecta. They go for the card draw right away. Interesting. Ooh, I like the Wandering Emperor off the top there. I think I'm gonna minus the Elspeth here. I think I'm just gonna minus it. See what we can do. I'll take it. I will take it. I am going to create a 1/1 with Kato here. That way, if they do end up, you know, hitting us with an Invoke Despair and we, you know, sack the 1/1 here, we'll still have a creature to attack with, and Kato can draw a card. But then again, I might want to actually discard or, you know, sack the Kato over the Elspeth. Doesn't matter. They don't exactly give us a choice here. And they're going to draw again with the Sorin. Interesting. Not creating any blockers in front of them. And they didn't even take the card, which is super strange because you have a lot of mana to work with here. I don't know. Obviously, we get the unblockable creature, the benefits here. We'll go with, you know, lifelink first, because why not? We're going to draw a card off of the Wedding Announcement here, which is good too. Let's get rid of the Sorin, man. Got to get it out of here. I'm going to Obscura, I think, the Broker's Ascendancy back to the field, and that leaves me with nothing else to play with, but it does plus all of our creatures up and our Planeswalker. There's a lot of benefits to be had here, so I am going to do it. Kato seems pretty fun too, but I'm going to go ahead and get the Broker's Ascendancy. I think it's just too good for our deck. If we get one down, it's just so phenomenal, and the fact that we're going into our end step right now is so big as well. They're probably very confused at the Broker's Ascendancy, and I would be too, because we are, you know, a pure Esper deck. It's kind of crazy to see one of those hit the field in this particular instance. But Elspeth now up to 4 loyalty. Obviously, Invoke Despair gonna probably hit us this turn. They've seen a lot of cards off the top of their deck. You got to imagine they have it by now. That's annoying because those hit tokens very easily. Actually, that's not March of the... It's not the white one. This one, actually, they have to pay for damage. All right, that's fine. Not ideal, but it's fine. Not ideal. Could minus the Elspeth again to maybe get a Kato back here. That's a fine hit right there. Okay. I'll take it. I will take it, and then we'll just flash in the Wandering Emperor here. I think is a fine play as well. And then we'll get the 1/1 from the Wedding Announcement. It'll flip over to become a 2/2. Broker's Ascendancy makes it a 3/3. And let's just see if we can get a Kato here. That'd be great. Beautiful. It's like we just drew it up. I don't want to discard anything here. Actually, I do. Actually, I do. Actually, I do. Another Wandering Emperor is not bad. And we say go. Get the 1/1. Get all the plus on the loyalties, all the plus on the 1/1 critters. And then we have Wandering Emperor. We can flash in as well to create another 2/2. And then from there, we could just use the Elspeth to plus things to the moon and back. Good chance we get spot removed here off the field though because of the March. That's fine. Oh, I didn't expect them to hit that. I didn't realize they could hit planeswalkers. That's fair. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Did we? I can't remember. Did we scry away in Elspeth? No, we didn't. Elspeth is so good. So good. But you know what else is good? Wandering Emperor, especially when you have a Broker's Ascendancy. There's the scoop. They wanted nothing to do with that infinite loop of 2/2s, but GG's, we'll take that one. Nice. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. If you made it this far into the video, we are going to break the deck down, but I just want to say a huge shout out and thank you to every single one of you because it helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm when you stick around this long. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it. And with that being said, let's take a look at today's deck. How did we build this sucker? Well, we kicked things off with Broker's Ascendancy, obviously. We did try to make this work in a couple of different ways. We originally had Deadly Disputes in the deck to sacrifice some of these creature tokens, creating treasure tokens, and then using those treasure tokens to get out the Broker's Ascendancy. But I thought to myself that, Kato mixed with Obscura Charm, it felt like the way to go. It felt like a more consistent way to go because the Obscura Charm doesn't necessarily have to replay the Broker's Ascendancy, so it could do some other utilities type plays for us, like counter things and kill creatures, which is really fantastic. And Kato obviously had to be in the deck if we're running Esper because it's such a good planeswalker for continuously drawing us cards and things like that. Elspeth obviously being able to draw the Broker's Ascendancy out and play it on the field too, it was a must-have in the deck. And from there, the rest of the deck kind of built itself because we knew we needed to have a lot of creatures on the battlefield to take advantage of the Broker's Ascendancy. So we obviously wanted to get some value with Wedding Announcement and getting those tokens. Obviously, all the planeswalkers we chose do generate some form of tokens. And because we are using tokens and a lot of creatures, Lolth made a lot of sense because it gains loyalty from, creatures dying like that and whatnot. Sorin, I mean, all of these planeswalkers make all the sense in the world. They're just... They're the most powerful planeswalkers you can get in Esper, so that's why they're all here. It makes total sense. Now, the beginning of the deck with the 2 Bloodchief's Thirst and 4 Vanishing Verses, we had to do something early on to be interactive because this deck was getting kind of mowed over a little bit by aggro decks before we had a ton of removal in the deck. And the Doomscar made a lot of sense as well. The rest of the deck, can take care of itself as far as control and stuff like that goes with the counter spells and the fact that our planeswalkers get repeated value over time. It typically does pretty well against those scenarios, but aggro was the real trick, being able to survive against aggro. We had to add in the Doomscars and a lot of removal up front. And you saw how good the Vanishing Verses can be. Those, that is such a versatile card that hits so many different permanents. It's not even funny. And it really takes the cake in this deck as far as the removal goes. Bloodchief's Thirst was just a nice little splash. You can honestly flex out the Bloodchief's Thirst for some other interactions, but I needed a little bit more because you're not always going to draw a Vanishing Verse in the opening hand. And so I wanted to up the chances of getting something that can interact by turn 1 or 2 because if we don't, find our sweeper and we're set, up against an aggro build, we're going to want one of these cards to at least get us off to a decent start, long enough for us to get, these planeswalkers going and getting some bodies out on the field to protect ourselves. So that's kind of how we built the deck. That was the idea of it, at least. Obviously, I know it's a work in progress. All my decks are a work in progress. Don't ever take my decks and just copy them outright and expect to, win every game. It's not going to happen. We do focus on a lot of the fun aspects of Magic here on the channel. So that's what we pride ourselves on. I hope this deck was a lot of fun for you guys to watch and you got a lot out of it. But ultimately, man, I think it's a lot of fun. If you want to make a version of this, like, the whole Kato bouncing the Broker's Ascendancy is kind of the way to go. You can try a Deadly Dispute route. Sorry. I tried that. It seemed like I always got the Deadly Dispute with no interaction early. I tried to Shambling Gas, but you really need at least 2, if not 3 creatures to ensure that you have a target for that Deadly Dispute. So things got a little rocky with that. But yeah, guys, that is the deck in full. The best advice I can give you is everything I just spit out. But with that being said, though, I just want to give a huge shout out, as always, to the Marty Mob for being part of the members here on the channel. If you guys don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program on the channel. All of these people you see on the screen here are, you know, helping the channel, you know, supporting the channel through their monthly membership. So huge shout out, as always, goes to them at the end of every single video, just to let them know how much I appreciate them. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys so very much. And lastly, this is Monday, so we'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another video. Same time, same place. I hope to see you guys there. But until next time, guys, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the Mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.